Hi advanced students, I'm Mrs. Shadbolt. I'm going to go over your materials today. So this is your materials bag. There's a lot of stuff in here. We're going to talk our way through this and then we're going to go through our portfolio. So in this Ziploc, you don't want to lose this stuff. This is about $10 worth of materials. If you lose any of it, you will be charged, or you can bring $10 deposit and just pay that if you want to keep it or if you know you're going to lose it. So in here, sounds strange, but you have two styrofoam plates. These are going to act as your paint palette, which you're going to clamshell together so that the openings are together. Then this actually gets slid back into the big Ziploc and gets sealed up if you're using this as a paint palette. So this will keep it nice. Also, we gave you guys a bigger paint palette so that you can mix into to create different values or to mix and blend or duller your colors. So that's your palettes. Also in here you have a smaller Ziploc bag which you can keep track of all of your other stuff. So you should have a thin brand new fine tip permanent marker just for you and a standard fine tip Sharpie marker. That's an artist essential right there. In here you should also have 3 thicknesses of paintbrushes. One should be finer, one should be medium, and one should be bigger. This is a softer brush. These are also very soft, but they hold up a little bit more. They'll push your color around a little bit more. Actually, I really love these synthetic brushes a lot. They clean up really well. Now, also in here, and by the way, I'm going to talk more about brush care later, but with your brushes, you tend to want to keep those brush side up all the time, so don't kind of squash them in there. I have an old container or two that I leave my brushes out, so once these are totally clean, they just sit out at night. I rinse out my water. Also in your bag, you should have 3 pencils. A number 2 pencil, which is like an HB, which is in the middle of the spectrum. This is a 6H, which is a very hard, lightweight pencil. And then this is a 6B, which is the darkest of the soft pencils, which gives you a really black, heavy line. So those are your 3 pencils, 4 in your smaller Ziploc. Also should have a sharpener and a good eraser. Now I have to apologize. Some of the paint palettes are messier than others. These are not brand new. So you can see this is a real mess. My recommendation when you get this home is pop out the paint like so, and then take this to the sink and soak it in, especially a utility tub if you have something that you don't care about as much. Soak it and then scrub it out so it's nice and clean, and then you can pop that back in. Now, a little goes a long way with watercolor paints. You're not going to need brand new paint in here. If for some crazy reason you do need a refill, let me know and we can arrange for you to pick up one. But this should be able to work as another paint palette once you clean it out. So I'm going to do that. By the way, when you get this thing wet, leave it open. It's better if it dries out overnight. These two. So let them dry out overnight. You can always rehydrate them with more water tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and clean this out tonight. So let me go through portfolio bag. Looks like that's everything. I am missing one item that was back ordered. If we get time later this term and those come in and we have time for the last project, I will arrange to get you that last item later. Here is your advanced drawing. It should say ADV on it. That means it's yours. In here we have your advanced sketchbook. This has a timeline on the front. It has rubrics, sketch pages, everything you can need throughout the term. Also some worksheets that we're going to work through. Some of you have done these things, most of you have not. Very few people have done this stuff. Now I want to call attention, you have your syllabus and your work contract. You're going to read those over with your parents and get it signed. The one thing I want to show you is that you have a general art rubric, which is going to be how you're going to be assessed this term. And also we're going to talk about displaying your work. Hopefully we get to show your work in a show or in the halls of the school. We'll try to work something out. If time doesn't work out, we'll skip that one. This is going to be one of your first assignments. This is your proposal. So in here, it says at the top, you must complete a portrait, art history homage, which is like you're going to look at a work of art and do a work of art based on it. A 3-object still life, landscape or architectural piece inside or out of a building, animal project, and you have one that's a subject of your choice. Now the media, you need to try pencil once, watercolor once, pen and ink once, sketch and wash, like I said, I'm going to try to get that to you later. And then other media, it's up to you. You can repeat or combine. It's up to you. If you have other materials you prefer to use at home, feel free. So anyhow, it's going to be expected that you complete 6 through this semester unless something crazy happens, and I'll keep you posted on timeline. But what I want you to do is fill this out. So you're going to choose what order you're going to work on those ones that I gave you. And then you're going to decide what your media, which type of paper, what size. Okay, so that's what you're going to work on here. This is Principles of Design. We'll go over this in the next couple weeks. In here, there's one sheet of light sulfite paper. You're going to fold that in half. You know it's sulfite because it's the lightest piece of paper in your bunch. This is going to go around your sketchbook as a cover. Please put your name and hour on the front. Class 2 if you want. We're going to design this out front and back using at least 4 colors or 4 values. I'm going to look at that later for participation grade. And in here, you have a variety of 3 and 3 of railroad paper, which is the heavier stuff. That's like poster board. It's kind of glossy on one side, it's matte on the other. And then you have some railroad, or excuse me, watercolor paper, which is matte. It's a little bit smaller. Both of those hold up really well for drawing or painting. It's up to you. You just kind of want to think about which paper you want to use for your projects. So your standard size that you'll be working with is a minimum of 12 by 18, which is this size. You can work bigger. If you happen to have a canvas at home that you want to use, you can do that too. But this is just the bare minimum of what you need to get by. All right, that's basically all the stuff I gave you. We can talk more later. Please double check that you have all those materials in your bag and portfolio. Thank you. Have a good day.